There's a new trade rumor about Lauri Markkanen, and let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. Okay, guys, this trade rumor comes from Jake Fisher, and this is a really interesting one. Let's look at it. Jake Fisher says, at this point, the Jazz are expected to prioritize finding an extension agreement with Markkanen, sources said, and Utah officials made that clear during their approach for Bridges. That won't stop rival teams from calling and registering their interest in Markkanen, with the hope that Utah could decide to punt like Brooklyn if the Jazz aren't able to secure someone close to a second star for Markkanen. All right, there's a lot going on there. Obviously, it looks like the Utah Jazz are looking to renegotiate that contract with Lauri Markkanen. That's at least what their focus is right now. But because of the CBA and because of the way negotiations work, that likely won't happen till August. The Jazz could do that this Sunday when free agency opens, but that would only be for an extension. But since Lauri Markkanen only makes $17 million this year, he's not going to do that because he's going to be worth much more. The Jazz in August could renegotiate his contract and use their cap space to add to it. And that's part of the reason why the Jazz have so much cap space this offseason. But they cannot do that until August because that is the anniversary of when he signed his latest contract. Now, the thing that's interesting about this is two things, really. Other teams are calling the Jazz. We know for a fact other teams are calling the Jazz. It was reported last year. It was happening last year's trade deadline, pre-last year, this last offseason, and it's happening now. The Jazz are getting calls, and teams are hoping that the Jazz do what the Brooklyn Nets did with Mikal Bridges, and it certainly seems very possible. Why? Because the Jazz keep striking out on other free agents that they were reportedly interested in. They were reportedly interested in Mikal Bridges. And that comes from Jake Fisher multiple times saying the Jazz did try, but the Jazz did not want to pay price that the New York Knicks did for Mikal Bridges. And now we just saw the trade for DeJounte Murray going to the Pelicans. The Jazz did not want to pay that price either. That was two first-round picks and a young player or two. Utah didn't want to do that. Well, what's next? We're seeing some rumblings about Paul George maybe just re-signing with the Clippers, maybe going to the Philadelphia 76ers, potentially the Golden State Warriors. Paul George ain't coming to Utah. And then now I guess it's Brandon Ingram. But I don't know if the Jazz didn't want to give anything for DeJounte Murray, are they really going to want to give anything for Brandon Ingram? It certainly doesn't sound like it. And that last line where it says, if the Jazz aren't able to secure someone close to a second star for Markkanen. So basically at this point, there's not a lot of stars left, at least that we know about. There could be some trade out there that we haven't heard, some player that's potentially available, but it's starting to sound like the Utah Jazz might be going for Cooper Flagg and sending Markkanen somewhere to get another haul. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is there someone out there the Jazz can actually trade for? Or do you think it's time to go for Cooper Flagg? Hashtag capture the flag. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel, and also a huge shout out to the members. I'm excited for the season to come up to get our live streams back. I miss them. I miss the members. Guys, I will talk to you next time.